We go back from the old days.
Exactly, Evans High School.
Yep, definitely.
What does it mean to you to be here today?
It means a lot, about 20 years has went by. So it's been a lot of time to reflect and watch the growth of the school. So I'm just, very humbled and proud that, the committee would, look at my efforts as a student athlete and contributions I made to help build the program. And, put me on, induct me in the Hall of Fame to be represented as one of the greats to ever, grace the campus.
What was it like when you got the call?
You know what? I was surprised, but at the same time, I was doing a little bit of media behind it, and I was like, man, I think something's going on. It's starting to crank up again. I'm getting a lot of calls, getting a lot of requests for interviews. So I figured, it might be about that time. Plus, Kevin Smith had went in, multiple running backs that went in, Latavius Murray. So I figured, I know I was right there in the top 3. So I knew I was coming up next at some point in time.
What does it mean to you to be a Knight?
What does it mean to me to be a Knight? Whew. It means it's a lot because I was here when the foundation was being laid. I'm not one of the first guys who laid the foundation, but I'm one who helped propel it to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? To where we at today.
Yeah, you see where this campus is now and how much it's grown. What does
Yeah.
that mean to you to know that you were one of the people who led them in the right direction?
Oh, it means a lot. It's something to be proud of. When you're coming out of high school, you're getting recruited by other schools. You're really joining the tradition. This is a chance where you could go and be a part of building the tradition. That's what makes this so special because I can always go to my son, go to my kids, look and say, hey, Dad's in the Hall of Fame. I helped build this place. I was one of the key components in as far as the football program contributing to athletics here.
You played during the MAC days, and now they're in the Big 12. I mean, if you had to give advice to some of these football athletes right now in the Big 12, what would you tell them?
The thing I would tell them, because you're the only team coming out of the South, pretty much everybody's in the Midwest, biggest thing is just really prepare yourself, really hone in and lock in, and when you get ready to go out there, to really truly make a statement. And you're playing not just for yourself, you're playing for your brothers, your coaches, your family, and also the university. So when we come out there from the South, we're coming to represent. So you want to go and put your best foot forward. You want to be very prepared for the moment.
If I remember right, you started your career when UCF wasn't in a conference yet.
Correct.
If I remember right. What does it mean to you when you started here? UCF wasn't a part of a conference yet, and now they're in one of the power conferences.
That was one of the biggest things in the vision that we spoke of when the coaches was recruiting me in my mom's living room. They were speaking of, hey, we're going to join the conference. We need to play good, maybe 1 or 2 more years and independent, and then it will happen. So I signed in 2000, 2001 I redshirted, 2001 we had a very strong season, very strong showing. We got an invite from the MAC conference, the only team being from the South to go up and play the North. So it meant a lot because this was part of the vision to where we at now. And that, I don't want to say it was the first step, but it was a very important step in the process.
What are some of your favorite memories of your playing career at UCF?
One of my favorite memories, when I really look back at it, I had to sit back and think over 20 years and just, just go back through the flashbacks and say, man, look, because you really don't have the stuff on YouTube no more, so it's all on VHS. So I can't call Dana Martin and say, hey, can you send it over? We didn't have emailed it. So I think one of the biggest things is we hadn't had a 1,000-yard rusher under Coach Cruz since Marquette Smith. I think it was probably about 10 to 12 years, maybe a little bit longer. And I actually got hurt, and our backs was up against the wall as far as getting 1,000 yards. And over 3 games, we put up about 150 each, and we made it happen. And actually, I think a game got canceled, maybe because of weather, so they pushed it back, and we played it after Thanksgiving against Ohio to get 1,000 yards. So that was a very memorable moment for me.
Who believed in you during some difficult times while you were a student and helped you get through those?
Well, I gotta say Coach Allen Gooch, because he had his hand in the whole process of the development of me. He actually came to my high school, came to my house when I was a high school kid and recruited me and told me about the vision, told me where I fit in the program. So when somebody does that, they really take a hands-on approach. They really want to make sure you make it. They really want to make sure that you develop. And that was one of the good things about here. That was one of the good things about coming to UCF. I wasn't just a guy. I was an actual person and important. I mean, not just me, everybody was treated like that. But I had showed a exemplary talent, and I showed that I could, have great leadership skills and I could impact a game. So what they want to do is make sure that I was prepared to be consistent in doing that. because that was one of my strong points.
By the end of your collegiate career, you set multiple records as a UCF running back. Did you ever expect this day to come? Did you, in the back of your mind, like, it's going to happen one day?
Well, I mean, you hope that's what you want because as a competitor, that's what you play for. Coming out of high school, I was highly recruited, ran track, had won multiple awards, multiple accolades. So when I was going to college, I was going to leave my mark. I wasn't coming to be an average guy. I wasn't coming to back anybody up, but I was going to put in the work and prepare myself to be that. And it was a great, great experience, my time here. Like I said, we had ups and downs, but overall, you know, when you talk about the campus and the facilities and things that happen, even though we didn't have it in, we still had this beautiful sunshine. We still had an open campus, 50,000 students, so what else could you want?
You mentioned the sacrifice of the ups and downs. Now there's a lot of sacrifice that went into that. Does it all feel worth it now that you're here today?
It definitely feels worth it, and what makes it more special to me is that we have nights like this. You know, they call in some of the former players to come back and share your stories, show your memories, and recognize them, saying like, hey, we're here in the Big 12 right now. We're competing for, you know, we've won a national championship, we've won a conference championship, and we just want to recognize you as a guy who played a part in the growth and development of where we're at today.
Alex, you had a Hall of Fame career. The results speak for themselves. You were getting it at some point, but what does it mean that you had some vocal support? You had people, you had Sons of UCF Pod. There was a lot of people were advocating, saying it's time to put Alex in the Hall of Fame. What did that mean?
It means a lot. Sons of UCF, man, listen, they gave me a great campaign. They got the momentum going. They got the word out there. They sparked the fire again. And I'll tell you, I got to say thank you because this would not, I don't think it would be possible without you, you know, waking up the old stories, talking about, you know, how we competed in the MAC, how we went out and played Alabama, how we went out and played Byron Leftwich, who was a first-round pick, of Ben Rosenberger, and we ended up beating them. You know, the only team from the South. And not only that, we're opening up with 4 heavy hitters. We might open up with, I can't say it, just recollectedly say it, but I know we've had Arkansas, Penn State, Clemson, maybe it's the first 4 games out of 5. So there was a major sacrifice made. And I appreciate guys like this. I appreciate media like you for bringing it back and also being a homegrown, because it's very special, because this is the thing that, you know, unites R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey is from my neighborhood. You know, he watched me play growing up. So when he was going to transfer and come to school, he said, man, listen, I know Alex Haynes played here. I want to be the next to break his record. So I help inspire the next generation of, you know, the guys who are going to move the program forward.
Speaking of that next generation, what's it like watching your son play high school football and kind of going through the same things you did?
Oh, it's an awesome feeling. I coached him for 2 or 3 years. This year I'm not coaching. I just want him to play, and I'm going to just be dad. But it's a great feeling. He has the talent. He has the genes. This is the second time being here on a recruiting visit. And he's been in contact with the coaches, and things are looking very good. His play has been outstanding. And not only about him being a good player, he's also a good person. That's what we're concerned with. Be a good person, because it's going to be school first. And if you get a chance to play in the NFL, that'll be great. But I'm more concerned about being a good person and graduating.
What has this recognition meant to your family?
Oh, it means a lot. Being 20 years removed, you know, over the time you go through ups and downs, you see friends and family that pass. So you really appreciate moments like this. You don't take it for granted by any means. And it just shows your hard work. And then now I can show my kids, hey, this is something I achieved. This is something I did. So now you don't have to be an outstanding athlete. You can be outstanding in anything you choose to do. But the sky's the limit with hard work, dedication, and preparation, and being consistent.
Was there a moment in your career where you just faced a hardship and you just kind of flipped the script and boom, you're in the Hall of Fame?
I think one of the hardships is that, you know, when I first came in, I played with older players, Travis Fisher, Sante Samuel, Elton Patterson. Those guys exited the program probably about 2 to 3 years into me being there. Me going into my senior year, I always tell people this story. The line that Kevin Smith ran for 2,000 yards with, I had those kids straight out of high school as freshmen. And I'm a senior. We playing number 4 West Virginia. We still put up 140. So Coach O'Leary came in like a pit bull. It was basically a tryout for those guys. But he had a mutual respect. We had a conversation last week. He had a mutual respect for me. And he respected that. I kept leading. I kept pushing when I could have just easily jumped and said, hey, I'm going to go to the NFL. I stuck around and see where the program was going and see what everything meant moving forward. And he called me. He said, man, I really respect you for that, because you easily could have just entered the NFL draft.
Alex, there's been a rich history of UCF running backs. You've mentioned Latavius Murray. You just talked about Kevin Smith. You now join them in the Hall of Fame tonight. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me, because all those running backs have accomplished a high level of success on the field, in the classroom. I think most of them graduated. Most of them has went on to the NFL to achieve great things. And I've also had a relationship, and I've also got a chance to see them in their development and growth. So, you know, anytime your school produces is a great thing, especially not living in Florida. I need something to brag about.
I just wanted to end off.
Okay.
What's the kind of legacy that you hope you left?
The kind of legacy I hope I left was not, I was a great player, great competitor, and I worked hard and prepared myself, but I wasn't just a good football player. I was also a good person. You know, I had a relationship with teachers, people in the cafeteria, parking service. So, yeah. So I think one thing I want to be remembered by is that I was not just a good football. I was a good player. I was a good person first that played football.
Wow,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Thank you very much,
Thank
and I
you.
appreciate everything.